Hello everybody, this is Kimchi Crypto. Today I'm going to talk about Altcoin ETF Summer is coming. Let's dive in. First ever US staking ETF to launch Wednesday, giving investors exposure to Solana. REX shares will launch the first US staked crypto ETF this week, giving investors direct exposure to Solana with staking rewards. If this is true, why on earth nothing is happening right now? At least Solana price should have skyrocketed, right? Anyway, REX shares announced this in their Twitter account. Coming Wednesday, the first ever staked crypto ETF in the United States, introducing REX Osprey, two companies combined, launched the Solana staking ETF designed to track the performance of Solana while generating yield through on-chain staking. Solana exposure plus staking rewards. In May, SEC ruled that staking does not violate securities law. And it's true. First staked Solana ETF to be launched on July 3rd in the United States time. Solana price extended rally. Well, the price of Solana rose shortly after the ETF news, climbing 6% to around $158, but now it's below $150. Anyway, despite the rally, Solana remains 46% below its all-time high from January, according to CoinGecko. Well, I would argue, was it a rally? Eric Balchunas from Bloomberg, he mentioned in his trade account, get ready for a potential altcoin ETF summer with Solana likely leading the way, as well as some basket products via James Seifert note this morning, which includes fresh odds for all the spot ETFs. Well, the basket products ETF, this includes Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, which includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana XRP, and ADA, Cardano. Deadline for Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund conversion into ETF is July 2nd. It is likely for that product to be approved because one of those ETF experts, Nate Gerasi, said that this will be approved and individual altcoin spot ETFs will be approved, just like Eric Balchunas and James Seifert. They are all well-known ETF experts in this field for the last 20 plus years. And then Nate Gerasi added BlackRock will apply for XRP and Solana ETF. Well, analysts also raised chance of Solana XRP and Litecoin ETF approval to 95%. Crypto ETF summer could come as early as this week. But my question here is, crypto price, especially altcoins, will look like it will stay low forever, right? Well, this is, I'd say, the framing of the global elites, of Wall Street giants. Wake up, guys. It's framing job. It just make us believe in that way forever. But just remember 10 years ago, Bitcoin was fraud. 7 years ago, Jamie Dimon and even Larry Fink CEO, Mr. Trump right now, President, he was a naysayer of Bitcoin. He only argued US dollar is the strongest currency of the whole world. But now it became a Bitcoin and altcoin with his sons, crypto, superstar. Just remember this. This is their framing job. Don't be fooled. Contrarian investing also includes risk taking with higher odds of winning. It does not guarantee our success, to be honest. In my personal opinion, this has been the narrative. Altcoins are dead, which is not true. What if BlackRock applied for XRP Solana spot ETF a week later? What would happen? I think the atmosphere can change just, all of a sudden. This is the altcoin spot ETFs plus basket index ETFs. As you can see here, basket index ETF and Litecoin Solana XRP, the odds of approval this year is 95%, and Dogecoin, Cardano, Polkadot, Hedera, Avalanche is, the odds is 90%, which means they have no doubt. It's just a matter of timing from the beginning. And Sui 60%, Tron 50%, Penguin, that's a meme coin, right? 50%. As soon as they announce some big news, I don't know what type of news that would be, but guess what? What if BlackRock, what if one of those big tech giants announce that they are to have accumulate Bitcoin or Ethereum, even staked Solana? I don't know what types of news could that be. I don't know, but my arguing here is the atmosphere can change just at once because they need altcoins for tokenization, for DeFi, for AIs, for a stablecoin, for CBDC, for conversion between AI, crypto, blockchain. The future world can be implemented by altcoins, quality altcoins. We cannot know when or how it could take place though, Solana staking ETF to launch. Bloomberg also reported on Monday that Rex Osprey Solana staking ETF is officially set to launch on Wednesday. The product faced initial regulatory hurdles with the SEC, but it came true. To gain approval, however, the issuers, Rex Osprey, those two companies, compromised by agreeing to invest at least 40% of assets in other ETPs, aka ETFs, similar products, right? Mostly domiciled outside the US. I'd say this Solana staking ETF is a half success. Why? The AUM is the Red Shares and Osprey is very little. Red Shares AUM is $6 billion, Osprey $0.2 billion. Compared to BlackRock, Fidelity, Bitwise, whatsoever, there's VCs out there, it's a very small, medium company. Institutions, if you were institutions or billionaire investor, you would buy this product with Solana staking services. I would not. If I were huge institution then. They must buy at least 40% of their assets outside the US. Who dare to buy staking Solana ETF outside the US? I'd say this is incomplete version of staking crypto ETF. I know it's a partly success, but if I were an institutional investor, I'd wait for BlackRock's, Fidelity's, or some high-level asset managers. They apply for those Solana XRP or index ETFs, and then I'd buy. Good news is we are still going to the right direction. SEC delayed, for your information, the decision on Ethereum ETF with staking of Bitwise. Why? Unlike Mr. Gary Gensler, the reasoning behind why they delayed the Ethereum staking ETF this time is very different. In the past, it was lawless. It was unreasonable. Just implemented all these lawsuits, those threats by the Mr. Gary Gensler. But now SEC is working on making rules, standards, and foundations for legislations, aka Clarity Act. which coin is security or commodity, who is responsible for those products, etc. This is essential. It's going on. They are working on it. However, it takes much longer time frame. So this is not complete. Gary Gensler should have done this job, but he just ran off. And Hester Pierce, the team leader of SEC, her team is working on it. That's why SEC cannot approve altcoin ETFs right now. But Genius Act, Clarity Act will pass in a month or so. This is huge news. And if Grayscale's digital large-cap fund is converted into ETF, I would say altcoin ETF Summer would arrive. Please note, Grayscale's victory over SEC in 2023 was the start of Bitcoin bull run. It initiated the Bitcoin spot ETF approval. I bet this time Grayscale could initiate Altcoin Summer this time as well. Who knows? Let's see. Thank you for listening.